Hi, I'm Kayla Simon, and this is Kayla's Corner. A few weeks ago, we missed Transgender Day of Visibility on March 31st, but today I would like to discuss transgender identities. But first, a caveat. Being a cis woman or someone who is assigned female at birth and identifies as such means I don't have all the answers and I can never truly know what it's like to walk through this world as a trans person. Nevertheless, as a sexual health educator, I feel it's important for people to know the basics about transgender identities. Transgender means someone's gender identity or how they present to the world is different than the gender they were assigned at birth. Someone assigned male at birth might grow up to identify as female. This person might refer to themselves as a trans woman. Someone assigned female at birth might grow up to identify as male or a trans man. In the last few years, trans people have been more visible in the news, TV shows, movies, politics, and new legislation. To some, this might seem like a fad or craze, but trans people have been around as long as cis people. Cabeza de Vaca, the 16th century Spanish explorer, wrote about meeting Cherokee trans women in the New World. Some early African tribes didn't assign gender at birth, but waited until the child grew up and exhibited the energy of the gender that they were then assigned. In Hawaii, long before colonizers showed up, they recognized a third gender called mahu, who were folk that embraced both the feminine and the masculine. Gender identities other than cis male and cis female are nothing new, but they have been systematically oppressed in Western culture. Thanks to the internet and some progressive TV shows, we see more trans people than ever before, but that doesn't mean that life is easy for them. Right now in America, the Supreme Court is deciding whether the Civil Rights Act of 1964 guarantees protections from workplace discrimination to gay and transgender people, which means that right now there are no federal legal protections for LGBTQ identified people who are discriminated against at work because of their gender identity or sexual orientation. A few years ago, North Carolina made it illegal for trans folk to use the bathroom of the gender they identify with, which was later overturned. The current administration has rolled back protections for trans children in schools and barred trans people from serving in the military. In a 2018 study, the American Academy of Pediatrics found that 14% of American youth attempt suicide at least once. If those youth self-identify as trans, those suicide attempts jump to 50%. That means that half of all trans kids have attempted suicide and not just thought about it. Trans people are also much more likely to experience rape and homicide. In America, there are roughly 1.5 million trans people, so there's a good chance you know at least one trans person. Every lived experience is different, but it's important to be aware that trans people exist and that they're deserving of the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.